Welcome back. President Biden pardoning his son Hunter, claiming that his first son was selectively and unfairly prosecuted. The sweeping pardon applies to any crimes Hunter has or may have committed over the past decade. Politico is comparing this to the blanket pardon Richard Nixon received from Gerald Ford back in 1974. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, who led the investigation into the Biden family business deals, released this statement. The charges Hunter faced were just the tip of the iceberg in the blatant corruption that President Biden and the Biden crime family have lied about to the American people. Comer also accusing Biden and his family of doing everything they can to avoid accountability. Joining me now is Ohio Congressman Warren Davidson, a member of the House Financial Services and Foreign Affairs Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Reaction to this blanket pardon, which covers everything, all charges he's exonerated from, including any charges he's yet to been served with.
Yeah, good morning, Maria. I think the tell is, when does it start? It starts in 2014. In 2014, Hunter Biden set up a pharmaceutical business in Ukraine and became a board member of Burisma. And right after Donald Trump said, shouldn't somebody look into this? The whole left-wing Long March machine kicked in, and they impeached Donald Trump. You look at the whole cascade of things that went on from there. And ultimately, when, Congressman Comer is talking about the investigation that went into Hunter Biden, but also the broader Biden crime family. They exposed all kinds of crimes, and Hunter Biden pled guilty to charges that faced up to 17 years in prison for tax evasion. I mean, this is pretty aggressive tax evasion, not like, oh, I forgot to file something or didn't disclose something else. Pretty overt schemes that he pled guilty to. And why? Part of it was they didn't want the discovery of Hunter Biden on the stand and being cross-examined. And so I think the other part of the tell will be, does it expand to other members like Jim Biden and Joe Biden himself?
So what do you think? I mean, look, the words that the Oversight Committee has used with regard to Joe Biden and the Biden family are money laundering, okay, influence peddling. This basically covers everything. He's exonerated from everything. Is this going to apply to Joe Biden? No, I mean, I know President Trump has bigger fish to fry. He's probably not going to do anything about Joe Biden money laundering. But it's pretty amazing as you see President Trump face 89 indictments. You know, all of these years of all of these indictments and these attacks on President Trump. And yet, poof, everything goes away for Hunter Biden in 3 seconds with this pardon.
Yeah, I think the big thing with the Bidens is, 22 plus shell companies, and they didn't make anything. Before coming into Congress, I had, a host of manufacturing companies and related entities for real estate and everything else. We made stuff. There's no, we had physical buildings. There's no building anywhere other than Joe Biden's household. And you see multiple references for 10% for the big guy. So I think everyone will really be surprised if there aren't subsequent pardons closer to January 20th. And the timing on this was really important because Hunter Biden was facing sentencing for his gun charges.
So you think Joe Biden, before he walks out of office, is going to pardon other family members?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised if he doesn't. And I would assume that he will, just based on the work that the House Oversight Committee's already done. But you never know. I mean, we'll see what it goes. I mean, Joe Biden said he wasn't going to pardon Hunter either. So we'll see where the scope of this goes. But the timing really is interesting. You go back to Ukraine, so much focuses there, and you look at a willingness to even make a pretty wholesale effort to get into World War III in order to cover up activities in Ukraine.
Wow, this is just extraordinary. Do you think that this basically confirms the fact that President Trump was right all along, that all these agencies have been weaponized, and he's trying to bring in Kash Patel to clean it all up? The president-elect nominating Kash Patel, former Defense Department Chief of Staff, to serve as his incoming FBI director. Trump praised Kash as a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and America First fighter who has spent his career exposing corruption, defending justice, and protecting the American people. Trump added that he played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax. He sure did. I spoke with him throughout all of those years. Kash Patel released this statement. It is an honor of a lifetime to be nominated by President Trump to serve as the director of the FBI. Together, we will restore integrity, accountability, and equal justice to our justice system and return the FBI to its rightful mission, protecting the American people. Congressman, your reaction to Kash Patel's nomination?
Oh, you nailed it, Maria. Trump was exactly right, and that's why he's picking outsiders this time. He tried insiders that were supposed to understand the system, and they were going to work to, quote, drain the swamp and support the president. What you saw him do continually was undermine his power and go back to people like Alex Vindman, who basically played a central role in the whole Ukraine impeachment hoax, the Russia hoax, all these things that were weaponized against Donald Trump. So it's overt that the weaponization has occurred now. We've had a weaponization committee, which I've also been able to serve on, that's exposed all kinds of things that now people go, well, yeah, of course they were censoring and filtering speech. But remember when that would get you canceled just for saying it? That was all supposed to be a lie. And that's where you need somebody like Kash Patel. That's why Matt Gaetz was inspiring in a lot of ways as well at DOJ. So the people that Trump brings in now, I think, are overwhelmingly outsiders like Pete Hegseth, like Robert F. Kennedy, like Tulsi Gabbard. They're people that are really serious about reforming things. And I think that is going to be the theme of Trump's second administration.
Yeah, and I spoke with Kash Patel on Sunday Morning Futures last week, and I said to him, look, the FBI is currently running scared. You've got Andrew McCabe, the former head of the FBI, calling Kash Patel dangerous. Why is he dangerous? Because he knows that Kash Patel knows exactly what the leadership of the FBI did to Trump and so many others, supporters of his. Here's Kash Patel with me last Sunday, responding to the question that I asked, which is how come Andrew McCabe from the FBI is calling you dangerous? Watch this.
Look, my 16-plus years in government service as a public defender, as a national security prosecutor, as a civilian in Joint Special Operations Command, leading President Trump's counterterrorism missions, taking out Baghdadi, returning hostages, serving as his deputy director of national intelligence, and lastly, his chief of staff. The only thing I was beholden to was the United States Constitution. And yes, I was a lead investigator where he exposed the Russiagate crimes that Comey, McCabe, Strzok, and Page, and so many others committed. And we reported to Congress those oversight matters, and those were taken up through them in the right course to the American people. So if anyone has a complaint about that and questions my unwavering commitment to the Constitution, I'm happy to talk to them about it.
So what about that? I mean, do you think we will, in fact, see the fraudsters finally face some accountability, those fraudsters who ripped the country apart with the lie of Russia collusion?
It brings joy to so many people to see it. And look, Kash Patel is also saying not just that it was a Russia hoax, he's talking about the crimes that were committed. And that's been the number one question I've had. Look, I got elected in 2016. The number one question I've had the whole time is, when is somebody going to jail? Now, to be fair, when Democrats ask that, they think Republicans should go to jail. But a lot of everybody else is like, they know that the people in these agencies are wielding them as weapons against the American people.
Right.
And they're tired of it. And not just in the law enforcement three-letter agencies, in the healthcare agencies. And I think that's why the alliance that Donald Trump formed with Robert F. Kennedy is so important, because there has to be accountability for COVID and all of the weaponized surveillance of American citizens linked to the FBI. We need to take our country back, and we need to restore a government small enough to fit back in our Constitution.
Yeah, what a joke. I mean, the fact that this pardon wipes away everything is just one more indication of the weaponization of this government. Real quick on policy, President Trump is threatening a 100% tariff on the countries who are trying to abandon the U.S. dollar. Trump warning the bloc of countries known as BRICS, which include Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, United Arab Emirates. They've been reportedly increasing talks about moving away from the dollar. He says if you do so, you'll pay 100% in tariff. Good idea?
Well, look, I think Donald Trump understands the stakes, and he's trying to make it clear to them, these are the stakes. You're really trying to topple the power of the United States, the strength of our economy, the stability for really Western civilization is the dollar. It is the reserve currency. So I think it really brings to the forefront the level of negotiation that needs to happen.
All right, we'll leave it there, Congressman. It's good to see you this morning. Thank you. Congressman Warren Davidson here.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We'll be right back. Stay with us.